most watched series, that is a secret to crack case comms. And this time we are not here with the case comms for that matter. We are here with another hackathons, if I may say, and that is EY Techathon. Okay, so as you know, the deadline has already been extended, and we are here with national runner-ups of EY Techathon 4.0. So what we will do is we'll maybe wait for 1-2 minutes so that other folks can also join. Meanwhile, of course, you can ask your teammates, your friends to join. After 2-3 minutes, we will start. I think we are already joined by a lot of people. So let's not delay further. I think we can start. So we are here with, as I earlier said, with the national runner-ups of EY Techathon 4.0. That is the last season of EY Techathon. So with me is Akash, Adarsh, Tanish, and Ishan. One of the teammate is not here, but he will also try to join in the meantime. So over to you guys. Please start the session.
Thank you, Prashant. Hello, everyone. I am Ishan. Here today, we are here to give you a little tips on the EY Techathon 5.0. We had a great experience last year, and we'll be just sharing you some tips from our side which can help you. And we've broken down it to 10 points, 10 tips for acing the EY Techathon 5.0. And I'm guessing you guys might be very familiar with the case competitions and everything, but this is slightly different. This is not really a hackathon, nor it is a case competition. So we'll be just telling you what our experience has been, how we went through the entire experience, and how as the rounds went on and what we understood, not only from what worked for us, but also looking at the other competitors, right? So a little bit about us. So uh, these are the team members. Uh, we are all from RV College of Engineering, Bangalore, and we just found a techathon out of like serendipity. We were looking for generative AI hackathons where you can participate, and right now we are doing these roles across various industries. Post this, uh, I had been working at Genpact, and Adarsh, who's the friend and who worked with us in this project, we both had took the decision of starting a startup in the clean tech space. Currently, we're incubated at ISB Hyderabad. We'll be talking a little bit about that towards the end. So if you're interested, you can stick around. So without further ado, let's get started with the tips. I think the first tip we can start off with Tanish. Can we go ahead?
Yeah, sure. So, coming to the first step of facing the Techathon of this season, would be first to not ask for the PPT. I know it sounds a bit crude, but it's not just with respect to us, like asking us the PPT, but please don't go around asking PPT to any of the previous team members or previous winners, or even like to your competitors as well, because there are a few points to it. First of all, it's not a PPT making competition. So, it doesn't matter on how you make the PPT, on how the PPT is beautiful and everything. It's not about that at all. You just have to make sure of two to three things. One of them would be that to make your PPT a summarization of your actual idea and how you're going to achieve it. Don't drag it into a story. Don't make it a proper presentation competition. Yeah. Don't make it a presentation making competition. Apart from that, always try to make sure that your PPT is able to communicate in a very direct way. It's quite comprehensive. It's not detailed. Like when you have to give the details about the technical aspects of the things, then please do make sure that you enter most of the keywords and most of the words that encompass your idea. But please don't make it a story. Don't make it paragraphs. Don't make it very detailed flowcharts, just giving each and every point of it. And for a huge impact, make sure that you make sure that your data is quantized. It's not very qualitative, it's quantitative. That is, you have some numbers, you have some charts supporting your points and your ideas, and it's not just random innovative ideas, but you have to back it up with some amount of data, that I did the survey of this thing, I read this document and everything. So yeah, that would summarize the first point. Coming to the second point for this acing of this techathon would be that understanding that it's a different competition from the others. Now, the reason why it's quite an unusual word, techathon, but it's not really a hackathon and it's not really a case competition as well, in which like both of them have different approaches, but in this you need to maybe alter your approach quite a lot, because now I say this because I've seen my competitors. Most of the competitors will be from B schools. There will be some from engineering. I do see in some final presentations that quite a lot of B school people had still the idea that it's more of a idea competition and how good your idea is, but it's more than that. You need to explain your methodology, justify your methodology to the panel, and you have to make sure that that methodology is quite thorough. And the methodology should just not be there for the sake of adding the tech to that idea. It should actually be the way through which you solve the actual problem. So you have thought of an idea of reaching from one point A to B, but through how that path will go through tech, you have to show that. And yeah, I mean, it's quite obvious, but it's a competition on generative AI. So keep most of your features to it. I know there are a lot of AI features outside that are quite compelling, that may support your idea better. But try to stick to generative AI because it is a competition specially catered to that. So that will definitely add to your points. I guess Akash can continue the further points.
Thanks, Anish. Thanks for those points. I think I'll continue on with this. So I think a lot of us just go straight into execution and we forget about what methodology we should follow. It's a good thought to do some kind of research before you go into into execution, and there are two reasons to it. First is that you might avoid some problems and some rework that you might have to do in future, and the later point is that this will give confidence to judges also that you have put some effort into research in your points. The other thing is that try to make new solutions of your idea, not try to force it, but adding a new technology might give an edge. I think this happened with a few contestants also and happened to us also. And lastly, methodology is a combination of various steps. It's not, you have to be very sure of what steps you're actually following and you have to be very clear of the steps you're going to tell. Uh, Moving to the next point. Yeah, so obviously use charts. Visual representation is one of the best ways you can show your idea. Make a tech architecture diagram for sure. Ideally, representing your idea through various charts and diagrams is just the best way. It becomes easier for the judges to follow along, the peers to follow along, and it gives a kind of confidence that your solution is kind of market ready. And you don't actually need to stress a lot on what your tech architecture diagram is at current point. So you can keep on making addition and improvisation during the steps of various stages of the competition. You can see this is the one of few diagrams that we made to show what all tech stack we're going to use, what all process that we're going to use. And it kind of gave confidence to our judges also that we knew what we were talking about. And this is kind of like our final tech architecture that we followed. It encompassed the whole process of how we're going to handle data, how we're going to process it, what all external tools that we're going to use, what all manual tools that we're going to use. So that's it. Try to make a good architecture diagram. Yes, and research on edge cases of generative AI for sure. Make sure that you add generative AI solution that is relevant to your project. But yeah, as Sanish said earlier, make sure you add it for sure. That's a big plus point. And I'll try to make sure that your generative AI solution is specific to your problem statement. Most of the guys who try to add generative AI solution were like adding document reading, document creation, which is fine its own, but it's not very specific to what kind of solution that you're trying to build. So I'll give you an example. We were trying to find out how we could factor in what farmers are actually trying to grow, and we wanted to make that an attribute on our model. So we thought of how we could do it, and we came up with we could use neural networks for that. Then we also went ahead and thought, okay, how we'll find anomalies in records. So we went ahead with autoencoders for that. So those are solutions that was like pretty particular to our problem statement, and I would like suggest you to add particular solution to your problem statement. Other thing is that AI, agentic AI. So this is pretty wild right now, and it's a hot topic as of the moment. So try to add those solutions also. And you don't need to make everything from scratch. There are multiple already present solutions out there that you just need to integrate very well. There's solutions from AWS, GCP, Azure. That all of these solutions could benefit your project as of now. I think forward others could carry on.
Yeah, so one very important factor that you have to consider while making your project is to think from the perspective of the customer and to particularly focus on customer centricity. Think from a startup's perspective, who the product is for, who you're building for, what are their pain points. Try to put yourself in their shoes and figure out the other market competitions, what they're doing and what you're doing better. Understand properly who you're selling to and the entire user journey flow of the user going through your product. Focus on the user experience and the user interface because at the end of the day, that is what matters the most. Yeah, moving to the next thing. EY Techathon is not like any other hackathon. It is not a 24-hour competition. It spans over around 2-3 months. So they are not expecting just a makeshift prototype that somehow works, but they're expecting a good working demo. Make sure to use a AI tool like Loom to make a good demo video. It's not necessary to host it, but it would help you out if you could do that as well. One very important factor is since you have so much time, you can really dive deep and research on what the problem is, what the issues are in the industry that you're building, and how to solve for them using generative AI. So show them that you have done your research through quantitative numbers. And yeah, one of the major things that even we did in our time was to gain industry insights and to talk to the people who are building in the same industry that you're building or solving the same problem that you're solving. You can even draw parallels from other industries and products of generative AI. One of the processes that we followed is something that Elon Musk mentioned is to find the entire process end to end, break it down, and remove all the parts that you feel are not relevant. If you have not broken the entire process, then you have not removed enough, and then add back whatever is needed to make it the most efficient. So I would urge you to think of that methodology. Apart from that, you can use LinkedIn to reach out to people in the industry and talk to them and figure out what the issues are. You can gain critical insights from them. So you can show new tech to old consultants. Most of them from EY. Consultants are old. They are extremely fascinated by generative AI. You guys are young and in the forefront of technology, so figure out where the edge cases of generative AI are, like we mentioned, and solve using those. AI world is rapidly changing, so use the latest tech knowledge available.
Right. Adding on to this, like the basic understanding you can take is like EY Techathon is something that they have started because consulting companies have understood that AI is critically becoming important, and a lot of these consulting companies, which used to be people heavy, are now going tech heavy. So this is a understanding of them also to know what is going on in the industry, to learn from students what is working for them, what disruptions can occur in the future. And even they say that after, like they are providing internships and job opportunities for people who show some skills that comes towards the very end. So yeah, basically go through everything that is going on right now. A lot of the things which we saw during the demo day on the last day is things we didn't know. So all of the other the teams were showing projects through different types of tech, right? The the other team from IIT Kharagpur, they had shown a new tech design which we never thought of, and we were like, okay, this is something we could have done, but we didn't know about it. And at the same time, when we presented, they also got to know, okay, this is something that could have been done in this way, and this is one topic of AI which we didn't know about. At the other hand, there were also things that we did know about, but we never thought of using it in that way. So that is where the creativity comes in. So even when you're showing your first PPT, right, the round one submission, which will be coming up in the next 2 days, and a lot of filtering is done through that. I think the way you can ace it is to provide a methodology so unique and so disruptive that they can understand, okay, they are onto something. So for the first round, I would advise you to bring something very audacious, then figure out how you gonna make it, right? So after the submission on 18th, it is not like your job is done. Uh, if you go to the next round, you should be already preparing as to how you are going to make this happen. So after the first round, your mind should be set towards actually making the solution, right? So in that gives you the edge, because by the time the next round comes in and you have a demo which is working at a lot of features, it helps you go to the next round as well. So there are a total of 4 rounds. So I would say make an audacious assumption of what you can achieve, submit it in the first round, and from the second from the next day onwards, just start working on round two, so that you will be on an edge over the others. Coming towards the very last point is, because a lot of people were telling me about like I was getting my DMs flooded with, can we get your PPT, can we, like I was getting even mails saying all this. uh, I don't know whether you guys knew, or all of you knew about it, is that the live stream is out there in YouTube. You can just search EY Techathon 4.0, and you can just look at the PPTs and the presentations of all the top 10 teams. So definitely go through that. That will give you an understanding of how the landscape is and what people have done. And at the same time, you will also find videos of the submissions that were made, right? Because when you submit it, they ask you for providing the public link, and a lot of people put it on YouTube. So you will definitely find that. That is the task you have to go through. Go and try to find all these videos that are out there, and that will give you an understanding. And make use of the time for the next 2 to 3 months. I mean, when it's a 24-hour hackathon, you work it as sprint. If it's a case competition, it's not more than a month or something sometimes. But this is something which encompasses over 2 to 3 months. Take this as a learning exercise, that you're building something that is going to help you learn, and then that will give you an edge as you go forward with the um, uh, techathon, right? And trust me, the experience was amazing. I can say, like, to when the final mail came that we were uh, um, uh, we qualified towards the final, it was really uh, such an amazing feeling, and you get a lot of perks as well. all of us like had got their tickets to be flown in from wherever we were. They provided the transportation, everything. We could see the EY building, and we met a lot of uh, good people during the event as well. So other after that, even like the employment opportunities were something that was also enticing for a lot of people. So overall, it's a really great experience. Don't give up midway. Go and finish the entire Techathon till the last, and be just give your best towards in the each round, and you will definitely end up in the finale and winning this, right? Um and as we are finishing this, I would like to take this opportunity to even explain what we are doing. So also, if you guys want to have an one-on-one mentorship from us, just scan the QR code. It'll get you to the top mate link. You can book a slot, and you can have a proper session. If you guys want to gain more insights on how to build your solution, to get a deep dive of what the, because we don't know what the current problem statements are. We've not gone through it, so advising you on just on a LinkedIn text is not something advisable. But if you guys want to really go for a one-on-one mentorship, you can just scan the QR code and we can go forward, right? And then coming towards what we are building now. Adarsh and me started this company this year, right? And we're calling it Lab Space. We are working towards a B2B SaaS solution for enterprises to achieve net zero. We are part of the iVenture Immersive program at ISB, which started this year. 50 entrepreneurs were selected for an incubation program. So currently, we are building this at ISB, Indian School of Business, and we are also on track to making the first demo, getting the first clients, getting our first rounds of funding. We are in talks with various angels as well. So I wanted to take this opportunity to connect with you guys and also provide you this opportunity where you can have the you can work at an early stage startup, gain some real business understanding from founder's office position. As we are very early, we are open for salary plus ESOPs options. At the same time, if you do not want a full-time position but are looking for some internship roles in tech and business, we are happy to take that as well. Because I believe not all of you might be in your final years. So if you want to gain an internship and to have an edge towards your placements, we are open to do that as well. But that is on a different scale, obviously. But we are happy to expand our team, get more people onboarded as we go towards this goal of helping companies in India achieve net zero. We are hiring, and we are hiring across our tech and business verticals. In tech, we are currently hiring across in all of these roles: SDE, product manager, data science, ML. So if any of you have any experience, or even if you guys do not have any experience, but it always happens that you go towards your placements and they look at your resume and they ask you if you guys have had experience, and then you're like, I'm a fresher, so it doesn't work like that. You can have an opportunity to change that, so gain some experience with us. And if you find it good enough, you can go forward for a full-time position, as well as we continue to raise funds and build our team, right? At the same time, if you're from a B school, we are also expanding across our business development team. We have our generalist roles in the founder's office. And if you guys are interested towards strategy roles, business development, you're free to join us, and um, especially sales as well. So we are hiring aggressively in sales. So as I'm at ISB and I talk to a lot of people in many B schools, I've seeing this shift of people going from consulting to founders office roles. So a lot of people are wanting to work in founders office so that it gives them a real business understanding. So if you want to do that, if you want to gain some experience in that, we are happy to have you at Lab Space. You can send us your resume at this. This is my personal email. If you can, we can connect on LinkedIn as well, and we can go forward with any of the roles that you might be interested in. So yeah, we are about done. Prashant, you can go forward, and we are happy to take any questions after this.
Got it, got it. Thank you so much, guys, for taking through your journey and, of course, through your startup as well. Wish you best of your luck. And I think many of the folks will uh, email you, they will reach out to you on TalkMate for your mentorship and, of course, to join your startup as well. Because, again, you're not just doing a startup, you're doing it for a noble cause as well. So that is also a great thing that I liked. Are there any questions? So, guys, you can ask questions now if you want. Okay, so I will just show up the questions one by one. Then we can talk about the B School buddies as well as the questions comes. Yeah. So the first question is: I'm a second year student with less coding language, but we want to give shot for this hackathon. What should we do? Any one of you?
Sure, I can take it. Um, So you don't really have to worry about that because in today's landscape there are so many low code and no code tools which help you make your applications. And for like even in the startup landscape, you'll find people making their first POCs, proof of concepts with low code tools, right? So it's completely fine using them. So like with your first round, just lay out your ideas, what you want to make, structure them exactly what you want to achieve, what you want to do, make an audacious goal in the first way. And trust me, when you go towards an actual implementation part, you'll find too many tools out there which help you make it. I can help you personally as well if you want to know about all these low code no code tools, but doing a Google search, YouTube search will also let you to understand a lot of them, like for example Bubble. Then you have Flutter Flow and everything which do not require knowledge, but it helps you make the actual working demos. So yeah, please go forward with these low code and no code tools.
Anyone if wants to add on, please do go ahead. Otherwise, I will go to the next question.
I think I'll just add one thing to it that it's not really much about the coding experience, but more about what amount of research you can get and how well you can align them with the ideas that you have. Like I would just suggest that even if you are in your first year, second year, third year, whatever like institute or everything you belong to, I think you should definitely participate for the Techathon and at least give the first submission quite properly while structuring your idea, and then maybe see along the way because you will be assigned mentors that can help you with other tools as well. So it won't be a problem that much.
Yeah, and one thing I completely forgot was that the winning team won it on Figma, guys. So they didn't even make a completely hard-coded application. Like half of the product demo was on Figma. So they are looking more at the methodology than your coding skills. So don't worry about that.
Got it, got it. And there's another question which is more towards the case completion, but yeah, if you want to say something about this, how to structure our thoughts and align with the slide limits.
Yeah,
So if I can answer
yeah,
that.
please go.
Yeah. So I guess for the first, if you're asking specific to the first round, because even in the consecutive rounds, you'll be required to submit the PPTs. But for the first round, I guess you shouldn't focus much on the how of it, but actually get an idea on board and get an idea, structure it on how it will help solving how it will help solving the problem. One thing I would like to add is that the problem statement that they give you, it is quite comprehensive, and it gives all the details. It explains the problem in detail. So make sure that whatever solution you are proposing, it's not just associated with the topic that you have chosen or with the topic of the problem statement, but the actual problem statement itself. So, and please don't go about making 7, 8 slides. I know you might feel that slide limit is a thing, like it would be a negative thing, but it will help you comprise your data even better. Just focus on answering how you will solve the problem and not get into very much detail of it. Just give the overall idea as such in these slides. So I guess you can finish the slides within 3, 4 also. So yeah.
Yes, and adding on to that, I will like I can help you with one insight is that like for us in our first PPT, we made a tree chart to break down the problem from what they said. Now, if you look at the problem statement, like Tanish mentioned, it is quite comprehensive, and you can look at every like it tells a story, right? Like there will be some guy who's going through this problem, this. What are the other things? So each sentence and each word has a lot of weightage to it. So this might lead to this. So this might lead to this. So end of the day, when you make the product, if you can address all of the issues which are said in the problem, first of all, they give the situation like this guy is facing this problem, and then they give a statement like now develop this, all of this. So break that down. If your product can answer all of the queries and all the problems that the person was facing in a said situation, then it is what it is required, right? So if you want to like with thoughts and how do you align with the slide limits, go don't write. I would say don't go with a text mindset. Don't write text, but make charts of any. There are so many types of charts you can use. So like whichever makes it most obviously understandable. So use some charts which will help you concisely explain everything.
Got it. So I think these are the only questions that we have got as of now.
Sure.
Guys, if you want to ask any question, I think this is the time that you can ask. Otherwise, you will just log off. Meanwhile, I will just cover what B School Buddies done. So, if you are in the webinar, most probably you know about B School Buddies. So, of course, we cover the whole B School student life cycle, which includes the case competition guidance as well. So we try to provide case competition specific guidance, just like EY Techathon is here. So we are trying to provide some guidance specific to that, just like this webinar is. Then we are trying to keep some sector specific webinars, some for product management, some for consultancy, and so on. There's some one-on-one mentorship as well, which you can take. So we try to get you one-on-one mentorship with the national winners, national runner-ups. We will even try to get some slots from these guys, and of course provide you so that you can book a one-on-one mentorship session with them, and we will try for a discounted rate as well. Uh, and if in case you're not part of community, so maybe just scan this QR code and you can be the part of WhatsApp group. And if in case you're watching it on LinkedIn or YouTube, you can find the link in the description as well. Okay, so I don't think there are any more questions. Ishan, Akash, others, if you want to, Tanish, if you want to add anything from your journey, please do. Else we will just close the session.
Right. I think I will just would like to say that the even if you are not like uh, going towards winning on the Techathon, and you want to go towards the last round, take this as an exercise of how to actually empathize with a problem and coming up with a solution. So I think that journey has helped us a lot. So UI Techathon, after UI Techathon, we took a lot of part in like other hackathons from Google Cloud as well. And that I think the exercise of going through the 2-3 months of constantly figuring out how the product looks like, what should be the way of how we show it to them, what other tech features we can add, really helped in us as an exercise of making a product and making it work. And we ourselves didn't know that we could do it because prior to this, we never worked on a project extensively. So yeah, take it as an exercise, learning exercise, and if you do it in that way, I think it will also lead to a product which is actually useful. Yeah, I think that is what. If anyone of you have anything else.
Got it. So I think Adarsh and Akash have already covered, so they don't have anything else to say. Okay,
Right.
so thank you so much, guys, for joining and of course giving, taking viewers through your journey, giving them tips, and of course this will make a large impact in their journey as well in this particular case competition. And I hope that some of the viewers arise at national winners and national runner for this year's EY Techathon. And of course, taking time out on a Saturday evening is that too on a weekend is a really great task. So thank you so much for that. Thank you so much from the viewer side as well.
Thank you. Thank you, Prashant. Thank you for
Thanks,
having me.
Prashant.
Thank
It was
you.
wonderful talking to you.